All right. So the reason we do this call every Monday is because in network marketing, it's so important that we have connection, that we have a community, that we have basically family. You know, I look at this as family. I look at this as each week we come together to learn a little bit, to be caught up to date on what's going on, to get on here and look and see who else is on this call that you might over time get to know, and maybe meet at a convention, maybe meet at over a private Zoom call between the two of you or whatever the situation is, so we can create family. Okay, this business is about creating. Any way you look at it, I look at it as family. You're building a family that are like-minded, that want to have a better life, that want to have more for their family, want to have maybe more for their, not only themselves, their kids, but their grandkids down the road. And this is where you can find that. The beauty of this business is you get out of it what you put into it. I mean, if you work for somebody else, they're going to pay you what they think you're worth. If you work in network marketing, you get paid what you prove you're worth. Okay, so again, the big thing here is I wanted a family style atmosphere. I wanted a place for people to stay up to date and be informed. And I want us to continue to have great communication. Now I'm going to address communication. First of all, if it's the first time you've been on here and you don't know me, if you have a paper and a pen, I'm going to give you my personal phone number, which is the +1 802-343-9075. Once again, for people out of the country, it's the +1 802-343-9075. The reason I give you that, you can reach me on my phone, you can reach me on WhatsApp, you can reach me on Telegram. I'm going to give you my Facebook address, so you can message me on Facebook. The whole thing is here, I want to be able to be accessible to you. So if you need help, you have somebody you can reach out to. Now, will I always have the answers? No, but I'll at least have a place. I'll let you know how to find the answers. I'll refer you to somebody who can help you when I can't do it. But the bottom line is you're always going to have a way to seek the information you need by having my communication. My Facebook address is obviously facebook.com/DaleFranklin.378. DaleFranklin.378. So again, you can message me on Messenger. Feel free to friend me. I'd love to have more friends on Facebook. But again, I do this because communication is key. There's so much going on with our company. It's growing so quickly. It's adding new businesses. It's adding new products. There's contests going on. There's all kinds of things going on all the time. There's special meetings with the CEO of the company. All these things, you want to be able to know about them so you can be to them and keep up to date with what's going on. The next thing I want to do is just take a moment and share my screen. And I'm going to take you to, this is my website, dalefranklin.net. Okay. And the reason I'm going to show you this is because there's a tremendous amount of information here. For those who are on here and see me giving out maybe your teammates my website, this is my personal website. This is not, doesn't have anything to do with the My Daily Choice website. I would never, ever try to steal anybody from anybody. So feel comfortable with this. This is a generic website for me. And the reason I do it is so you have a place where people can go and get a lot of the information they need to grow this business. Now, this is the home page, and there's some things you can check here. You know, a conversation with Vegas Goss was back on August 23rd. We had Joshua Masotti's interview with me back on September 13th. There's an opportunity blog here we're working on that we're going to have soon. Who is Dale Franklin? If you want to know a little bit more about me, you just click on that. But the important thing here is connections. So you can go to dalefranklin.net, and then you can click on connections, and it's going to bring you to this page. From here, you can subscribe to my my email list, because we're eventually going to be doing newsletters and such. So it will keep you up to date that way too. But beyond that, this shows you how to connect to me on Telegram if you don't know how to do that. If you have never used Telegram, here's the Telegram application, so you can click there. You can join Telegram and then connect with me. Same thing with WhatsApp. There's the WhatsApp link, so you can link up with WhatsApp, get signed up there, and then sign up with me. Now, the beauty of having both of these is the fact that WhatsApp is really popular in Africa, Eastern Europe, South America. So we use this all the time. Telegram is getting more popular all the time, and that is used by our corporate office. So if you want to stay on top of what's going on from the corporate standpoint, you want to also have Telegram. Now, both of these, we have teams of leaders that make their own groups and all that, and we can show you how to connect with them too. So you'll have lots of ways to be in contact with me, with other leaders, and again, the more people you can learn from, the better. You can follow My Daily Choice, their corporate office on Facebook by clicking here. We're going to talk about YouTube in just a minute, but you can follow my Facebook by clicking here. If you didn't know how to get on the way I told you earlier, you can literally just click on this and take you to Facebook. Facebook groups. We have the Win Network, which is Chris Robinson's whole team. Everybody from Chris Robinson down is on the Win Network. The Win Testimonials is a incredible array of testimonials on all the different products we have and how well they work. So if you have people asking questions about, okay, what do we have that would help me with sleep, or what do we have that would help me with sore muscles or whatever, you can go on to Win Testimonials. You could probably find recommendations. And people, doing this with your customers, it's one thing for your customers to listen to you. It's another thing for them to hear emotional testimonials from other people talking about how great the products are. It's just a great sales tool for you. Team We, that is Chris Bailey's team out of Maryland and Washington, D.C. Chris has now moved, and he is now in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So again, here is proof of our business. He always wanted to live in Florida. He always wanted to live in Fort Lauderdale. And now, because of this business, he can live anywhere he wants in the world. And now he's living down there and building a team down there. Zoom meetings. There's nothing like learning from as many people as possible. Doing these type of Zoom calls that I'm doing right now. We have, obviously, on Mondays, we have Adrian here on the call. Adrian does a 1 o'clock Zoom call, either training or opportunity presentation every day of the week. Monday through Saturday. Those are phenomenal, and they're right there on the continent. We have me at 2 o'clock, and then if you're from Africa and you want to get up early in the morning, real early, it'd be 4 a.m. for Kenya. Some of the stuff we do in the United States is you could easily go on that. So here's the Win Network training, which is again Chris Robinson's whole team. On Tuesday nights we have the Tuesday training, which is Chris Bailey and Lennon Ledbetter and Connie. Phenomenal training, and we also share that training with several others of us, like Vegas Goss. If you've never heard Vegas Goss, you've missed something. He's a great speaker. We call him Mr. Mindset. So there's a lot of opportunities for learning. So these are all here, and not only are they here telling you when they are, but there's the links on where to click to join the Zoom call. If there's a password, the password's on here, so you know what the password is. You can either click on the link or just go to Zoom and punch in the ID number. So we have made this as easy as possible for anybody who wants to get on it. Now I'm going to go back here. I'm going to go to my YouTube button here, and this is going to take you to. This is basically the library of all these calls that I have done since we started, and there's a lot of them. Okay. Now, this isn't for you to necessarily just sit and listen to me drone on. This is about the value of what I am able to bring as far as guests, okay? There is tremendous amount of great guests we've had on here, from Lennon to Adrian to Chris Robinson, Chris Bailey, it just goes on and on and on. You're able to listen from different leaders on how they built this business. You can see the different ways that people approach this, the different ways that people attack their growth. And it's also in here, there's also a lot of stuff in in different languages. You know, for instance, we have some stuff in Swahili, we have stuff in Spanish. Right now, actually, the Spanish hasn't finished yet, but we have the Ukrainian, we have a Russian version, and we're working on French. So there's tremendous amount of ways that you can reach out to people from other countries. And also there's extra trainings, like there's product trainings. There's a product training there on the HempWorks products. There's just a tremendous amount of information. Okay, so guys, feel free to reach out to this. This doesn't cost you anything except your time. Go back here, take a look at this stuff. You can look at any, if you miss a call that you wanted to see, for instance, maybe you wanted to see today's call with Lennon and you weren't able to get there. Maybe you have team members that wanted to be on this call today but couldn't be there. Just within a few days, probably 2 more days from now, we're going to have today's interview will be in this library, and you can send your team to it. So again, tremendous amount of opportunity here for you guys to get a lot of free information from a lot of good quality trainers. So let me just get out of this. And so that's that on that. Let me see if there's anything else here. Oh yeah, just so you'll be aware, Jody Levanway, one of my associates, she sends out every night to many of the groups, she sends out a list of what's going on the following day. So on top of everything else we've done, we also, she puts out this thing that keeps you updated on if there's another corporate call or anything like that. She's sending that out to a lot of the WhatsApp groups, a lot of the Telegram groups. So again, we're trying to make it as easy as possible for you to stay connected in as many ways as possible. So that's that. Just talking really quickly about meetings. Obviously, the meetings here is weekly. Adrian's meetings are weekly. We can do 3-way calls for you guys about any time you want. If you got somebody that's interested in joining, there are tons of leaders out here that will be glad to do a 3-way call with you. You know, you introduce the person that you've prospected, get them on with somebody other than yourself, and let them. And then once you got them introduced, just sit back, don't say anything else. Let them do their job of helping you close your prospect. It's about a credibility thing, you know. People who know me since I was a teenager. Well, you know, if I'm telling them that I can help them make money, well, maybe they remember that night when I was next to the library at college and I'd had too much to drink, and you know, I was staggering all over the place. That kind of credibility doesn't necessarily work for business, but when you refer them to somebody and edify to somebody who really knows somebody, knows what we're doing, knows you let people know how good they are at what we're doing, then you have you have that you've edified them correctly. You have somebody that they'll listen to, somebody that they'll believe, somebody that they'll take seriously. So again, it's just a credibility thing. Our own friends look at us differently than looking at somebody else. So 3-way calls, Zoom calls, either single Zoom calls or you know, you can do a pre-launch or a full launch, whatever you want to do when you first start your business, and invite as many people as you want. Schedule something with some leader, and that leader can get on and explain the opportunity and then answer any questions people have. Monthly Super Saturdays. We have Super Saturday once a month. It's usually about 90 minutes long. We keep it really strict to that 90 minutes. It's a combination of training, recognition. You get to watch 4 or 5 different people talk for 10 to 15 minutes on different phases of the business. It moves along fast. It's exciting. It's incredible as far as the amount of knowledge you pick up. As Lennon's common saying is, if you come on to a Super Saturday, you're going to think of the world differently afterwards than you did before. And I think he's right. So that happens usually the first or second Saturday in the month, depending on how the Saturdays fall. And then our annual convention, I just want to mention that that's coming up October 21st to 23rd in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's already sold out, but you can still purchase live stream tickets. So you'll be able to watch everything that's going on the internet. And they're going to be offering, you know, we that are at the convention, we're going to be offered, there's going to be contests, there's going to be special deals offered and all that. If you're on the live stream, you're going to have your own set of prizes that they're going to give out, and you're also going to be able to what's the word? You'll be granted the same opportunities that we are that are going to be at the convention. So it's well worth it to be able to get on this thing and watch what's going on through the day, even if you couldn't make the convention. And last thing I want to bring up about that, we have a leadership mastermind that's coming up on March 24th through 26th, 2022. We don't know where it is yet, but it's going to be a lot of fun. 3 days. If you qualify to go, you have to become a 25K affiliate one time between now and January, and you have to have 500 BV, personal BV, in the next each month from September, October, November, December, and January. So if you haven't got it yet for this month, and you think there's a chance you might reach 25K rank within the next four more months, you certainly want to make sure you do that, because if you qualify, the company's going to pay for U.S. citizens, going to pay $500 towards travel. For the global affiliates, it's going to be $1,000 towards travel. They're going to put you up in a great hotel room. They're going to put you up in great accommodations. They're going to feed you. We went to one last in May. It was phenomenal. So full 3 days event, lots of information, and we get to learn a lot of things. Be the first to know some of the stuff that the company's doing. So that's it on meetings. Now, next thing is I want to introduce Lennon Ledbetter back to everybody today. He was on last Monday and did so well, did such a fantastic job of telling us about what he has done in the past and how he retired, got back into the business. And you know, it was a pleasure to listen to him and to hear how somebody can start with basically nothing and build himself into one of the wealthiest people in the country. So let me tell you a little bit more about him. He's one of the greatest network marketers in history. He's made over $200 million in his lifetime in network marketing. He's written checks for $7 million homes and $500,000 luxury cars. He's spoken at sold-out arenas worldwide. He's a master trainer and motivator. You won't take long to figure that out. He has a passion for this industry. You know, he doesn't need this industry anymore. He does it because he loves it. He has a heart of gold. He'll do anything for anybody. I love the man. He's always fired up. I don't know how he keeps his energy levels as high as he does all the time, but he does. And for me, he's a true friend and a great mentor. So having said all that, Lennon, are you on the line?
I am. Yes, sir.
Hi, Lennon. How are you?
Great.
Hey, you were on last week. Remember, I told you I set you up. I had so much to ask you. You couldn't possibly get it in all 1 week, so I asked you right in front of everybody if you come back this week, and you graciously said sure. So let me just recap a little bit about last week real quickly. You told us how you retired, and you played a lot. You had a lot of fun. You did a lot of traveling. You went to Europe for 3 months. I love the way you did that. You just decided to hop on a plane, no luggage, no toothbrush, no nothing. Took off for 3 months and just enjoyed life. Now, who wouldn't want to try to do that? So here you are. You're enjoying life, but you know, you became you got a little bored, so you became a speaker and spoke at some network marketing functions as an independent. And but you knew there was something missing. You knew it, and you realized what it was you missed the mentorship. You missed helping change lives. You were happy. I remember you said you were happiest when you had value by helping others. And I can understand that. I mean, there's only so much playing somebody can do before they wonder why they're still on the planet. But for me, that would take a while, but as it did with you, but you realize you need to do something. What I love is what clinched your coming back is basically two people. Your son said it wasn't fair that you helped so many people succeed in business so they wouldn't have to have a job. But here he was with a wife and 2 kids with a job, and he wanted you to train him how to get out of that. And so he said it's only fair. He did it for everybody else. You should be able to do it for your own son. And then on top of that, Connie, you took Connie to one of the conventions you spoke at, and she saw what a great performance you did, and saw how well you were thought of by people in this industry, and how successful you've been. And she said, well, if you did it for all them, why can't you do it for me and my family? So between Connie and your son, they kind of were the final straw that got you to come back into the business. And then I love what you did. You didn't just, I mean, you wanted to make sure you were the company that was going to succeed. So you looked for a company that was established with multiple product lines, had huge potential, but was still young and hungry. I get that. Still a company that was just, they had been in business long enough so that they were showing that they were going to be around for a long time if they wanted to be, but they were still young enough and nimble enough that you knew you could build with them, and the sky was the limit. So I realized that's kind of I took everything you said and kind of jumbled it into one little sound bite, but that's what I got out of last week. So now you've told us we know how you built the business originally, how you retired, and how you came back. Now I'd love you to talk about the process of becoming a success. What does Lennon Ledbetter do on a day-to-day basis to create the success you're having right now?
Well, I really believe the power, or I could just say increase by association, increase by association. Crazy how if we want to get good at anything, then we need to be associating with people who are succeeding at what we're trying to succeed at. Like, I like me best when I'm with you. See, I get excited that Adrian's on the call. I love talking to Adrian. Every time I talk to Adrian, it fires me up. Every time I talk to you, it fires me up. See, we increase by association. So maybe I could simplify that and just say, plug in. I decided, it's funny how when I was 17 years old, my dad said, plug in. Just stay plugged in. You mentioned it earlier that I say like about the Super Saturday, but I could say any event. Let's just use the Super Saturday, for example. Anybody that's on or plugged in listening to Super Saturday will think different on Sunday than they did on Friday. Anybody who does not plug in will think no different on Sunday than they did on Friday. And the whole goal is to believe that you can succeed. See, we want you to succeed. So it's when we associate with people who are succeeding, it helps our belief go up. And that's always a self-fulfilling prophecy. If I believe it's going to succeed, I put more action. If I don't believe, then I don't put in the action. Well, if I don't put in the action, then I don't succeed. Because I'm not succeeding, my belief goes down and I don't put in the work. Let's flip that. If I believe, I believe. So I put in the work. If I put in the work, it starts succeeding. Well, then it's easier to believe. So I just keep going up. So I'll try and answer your questions quickly, but it's like, so increase by association. That's why I made a decision that I would never miss an event. I would stay plugged in. The number one thing is so simple, but I just decided I would plug in. Well, that's what I did before when I started, when I was only 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I was plugging in, learning. So what do I do now? When I said, let's build, we plug in. So I'm plugged in today. I'm with you guys. I love that I'm on the call with Adrian and you. You see, I'm plugged in. Okay, anyway, go ahead. Next question, man. I love it. I could take 30 minutes on every question.
Tell us, again, I want to know on a day-to-day basis. I mean, like, do you get up when you first get up in the morning? Do you have a schedule? Do you like make prospecting calls a certain time or follow-ups or anything? Just kind of how do you start your day, I guess?
Okay, well, you can tell I look a little tired. I learned a long time ago it's easier to stay up than get up. So I got to get up for these early morning meetings, even though this is at 11 o'clock my time. That's morning for me. So anyway, but some people, they really, their life, they are very structured people in their brain. Some people aren't as structured just by nature. You flow. You're more just a dreamer, a flower. Well, that might be more me. So I know that some people, you could call it like an analytical brain. They do. I think they say, okay, from 11 to 12, I'm gonna make calls. From 12 to 1, I'm gonna work on my list. Well, I've tried to always just live my normal life, but have my radar on, and I'm alert. I want to win. So if I want to win, I'm alert. What do I mean, live my normal life? If I wasn't building this team, would I go to the gym? Well, if you like going to the gym, then continue to go to the gym. I'll use that as an example for me. I went and worked out. I did lots of sports. I like sports. So I worked out before I was in networking. Well, now I still do, but I'm always alert. It's not like if I'm going to the sauna, I'm looking, I'm always looking. So what I'm saying to answer your question on structure during the day, I'm trying to answer specifically, but maybe the answer is no, that I don't say, okay, from 4 to 6, I'm going to make calls. Now, a lot of people do that, and I recommend it. If that's your style, you need to be consistent. The big thing is consistent. So I am consistent every day, all day long. I'm consistent. I'm available to do 3-way calls for people. If they're not booked, I'm looking to do 3-way calls. An example, we were at the gym, and it's funny. I was up working working out on weights and stuff, and a man came over to me and says, tell me what you do. Tell me about yourself. He said, is that you that pulled up? That was you that pulled up in that brand new Maserati. I said, yes. He says, well, tell me, what do you do? You must be successful. Well, of course I could have said, yes, I am successful. Yes, I have a business, and blah, 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 and start talking about me. Instead, I said, well, there's a girl down in the sauna right now. I bet she's in the sauna. But I said, that's who you need to talk to. I'm telling you, I just began to edify and talk about Connie and how she was succeeding and how I need to get them connected. Well, the funny thing about that is that she was in the sauna, and a lady was in the sauna with her and said, wow, you're fit. What do you do? You look successful, blah, blah, blah. And they just started chit-chatting. Well, she could have also started answering the questions. Instead, she said, oh, you got to meet Lennon. He's probably over there on the treadmill or something, but you need to meet Lennon. In other words, we started edifying the other person. And what's funny is I started with my new friend walking towards her while she was walking with her new friend towards me. And we met in the middle trying to, I tell that story to say, happens all the time. But the thing is that I was alert. I have my radar out. I'm always contacting. So if I say there's 8 steps, but I stay in the loop, which is 4 steps. Okay, step 1, define your dream. Step 2, make a commitment. In other words, if you just have a little dream, it's going to just be a little commitment. If you have a great big dream, it's going to be a great big commitment. But you get to choose your dream. You get to make a commitment to that dream. But here's the loop. Make a list, contact, show the plan, follow up. Make a list, contact, show the plan, follow up. Make a list, contact, show the plan, follow up. Make a list, contact, show the plan, follow up. So that's all we do. I'm making a list. I am consistent. When I say, do we be loosey-goosey? I'm not as analytical, like where I fine tune every hour of my day, but I am consistent on the list. Meaning sometimes I can't remember. If I'm laying in bed, I go, oh yeah, Bill Jones, or Bill Johnson, I need to call him. And then the next day I wake up and go, who's I thinking about again? Who's I thinking about? So yes, I write it down. I keep working on my list always. Even after these guys, I meet somebody at the gym. Well, it's not like I meet them and so I immediately start telling them all about the business, but I'm building a friendship, but I write their name down so I can remember who I talked to. So I keep a list with me all the time. I'm big on building my list and keeping my list so I can remember who I've talked to and when to talk to them again, when to follow up. So basically you make a list. I'm contacting that list. Then I'm showing them the presentation and then I'm following up. But that's why the list is so important, because then I can know, when did I call them? When do I need to follow up? Sometimes time goes so fast. Time goes fast and you realize, oh, wow, I talked to Joe and it's been 2 weeks. Well, are they going to be as excited 2 weeks later as they were when I was talking to them? So by having a list, I can stay on the follow-up. So when I say that I may not every day set certain hours to do certain things, I like freedom. So I'm free. But I'm also very organized or very consistent with knowing that if we're going to win, I need to follow up. All follow up and follow through is building a friendship, building a relationship. But by keeping it a list, I know when I talked to them last. Oh, it's been 3 days. Oh, it's been 2 minutes. You see, you can find, you stay organized. If you want to win in anything, you need a game plan and stay consistent with that game plan. Does that make sense, Dale, a little bit?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, for somebody like you who is totally free, and the fact that the reason you got into the business, this business, is because it's what made you totally free. You're going to be, it's going to be on your mind all the time. You're going to always be listening to people that are interested in getting a better life. Might drop a hint like, oh, I was going to buy a new truck, but I guess I can't afford it until next year. Those kind of things. And that's perfect for you. And then other people, as you said, other people need, if they're working a job and they have a limited amount of time, they need to be organized as far as knowing, whatever time frame they got to know what to do and when to do it. So I love the fact that one thing you're saying is, if you're in this business, you should always keep your ears and eyes open all the time for prospects. But if you can't do something with them at that moment, or you want to build a friendship first, then just make sure you take your notes and you follow up. So again,
I'll say one more quick thing that I'll say is, like television, they call it prime time. When is prime time? That means the most expensive time to do advertising. Most people are going to watch TV, and they got prime time shows. They call it prime time. Well, in our business, I also get smart and I never mess with prime time. Prime time. What does that mean? Like, I find that in our business, prime time, if most people have jobs, well, then that means prime time is those evening hours. I don't know, 7, 8 o'clock, or 6 to 9. In other words, evening time. I want to make sure that I'm not grocery shopping during prime time. See, so I do organize my day as far as, I'm going to grocery shop when it's not prime time. I'm going to put gasoline in my car when it's not prime time. If I've got to get my hair cut, I'm going to do my haircut when it's not prime time. So I always try to prioritize the things that aren't business building in odd hours where the odds are less anyway. Then when it's prime time, I'm showing the presentation. I mean, it's prime time. Somebody's going to be available. It's prime time. I'm going to be in a home. I'm going to be at a hotel. It's like whether it's a one-on-one at a coffee shop, whether it's in a home with 8 or 10 people, or a hotel with 100 people or more. That's prime time. So so when you say, do I schedule times to contact? Yes, I'm scheduling. Prime time means those are my evenings that I'm not going to be doing something dumb. Now, you can even say I got too carried away. Like my children, if one of them has a birthday, do I love celebrating their birthday and making them feel special? Yes, but we're not going to have a birthday party during prime time. Prime time, I'm building my business. Prime time, those hours when people are available, I'm in front of them. So I never do my little things during prime time. Like I'm never going to go to the gym during prime time. I'm going to the gym when it's not prime time, because prime time, I'm in front of people. I'm going to be in front of people prime time. Does that make sense a little bit?
Yes, it does. Yeah. It's, optimize, go where the people are. So yeah, you got across what I wanted you to get across is no matter what you do for a living, no matter how your mind works, each one of us has an individual personality, and we're all going to do things a little bit differently, but you have to have an open mind all the time if you want to build this business in a large way. And you've got to set aside some time, as you said, prime time. You've got to set aside some time that is designated just for this, and don't let something else pull you away from that. You work, in most jobs, you work 40 hours a week, and if you don't show up on those 40 hours, the boss is going to pull you aside and say, where were you? Well, it's no different when you're working for yourself. You have to be responsible for your time. So that's what we're getting across there. Lennon, you have said that you've talked about the importance of personal growth, and you've said that everything we need to succeed in this business can be learned. So spend a little more time talking about that.
Okay, I say all the time, everything it takes to be successful in this business can be learned. Now, it's not that way out there in other things. If you want to be a professional athlete, well, everything it takes to be a professional athlete can be learned. No, I hope you were born. Sometimes somebody says, I want to play professional basketball. Well, look how tall your mom and dad are. That gives you a hint if you even have a chance to make it. So there are things where I want to be a lineman in professional football. Well, I hope you grew to be 300 pounds, because if you only grew to be 200 pounds, you're not even going to get looked at. If you want to be a receiver, I hope God blessed you to be fast, a fast runner. Because if you can't run very fast, they're not even going to look at you. So you have to have certain things to even where I love networking, because everything it takes to be successful in this can be learned. Because I see tall people and short people, fat people, skinny people, black people, white people, Methodists, Catholics, married, single, male, female, all succeeding. So you fit. As all you got to do is look at all the people that have gone 50K or 25K or 5K, and you go, man, there's people older than me. Wow, there's people younger than me. Wow, there's people taller than me. Wow, there's people shorter than me. That means you can do it. So it's all association. It's like, that's why we talk about Super Saturday. Our next Super Saturday is October 9th. It's for 90 minutes. And we have success. Bam, it just goes like bam, 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 bam. It's like there's Adrian going to talk, and Lennon going to talk, and Dale going to talk, and Chris going to talk. In other words, it's just success after success after success after success. So your belief goes up, but also they're teaching you how they're succeeding so you can duplicate it. Everything we do, it's like, if it's not duplicatable, I'm not going to teach it. I want it to be duplicatable, because that's how we succeed, is by helping others succeed. So to me, That's the most important thing. But yet I still, when we prioritize, kind of back to the other question, but I hope I'm answering this question, is when I see people not make that, they have one whole month to schedule 1 hour. Well, because it's Super Saturday, let's say an hour and a half. But the fact is, it's like, and then I find out when they don't be on the call, what were they doing? Never is it, oh my gosh, I had an accident. I'm in the hospital, in the emergency room. I'm sorry, I couldn't be on the call. No, it's like they're grocery shopping or something. And I'm going like, prioritize your priorities. I want this to work, but everything it takes to be successful can be learned. But I need to plug into the people that are succeeding so I can learn, because I want to do what they're doing. I want to have the lifestyle of Adrian, you know, and if I see that, I go, man, here's a beautiful home on 2,000 acres. They show a video of car after car after car after car. And you go, man, I want the lifestyle. Well, you can learn to do what Adrian did to get that lifestyle and then have courage. That's all it takes. So many people think that it takes something special. It just takes courage where others fear. It costs nothing to open our mouth. I can prioritize to be on the call and associate with the people winning so I can learn how to win. I just get so excited. It's like, I just love the simplicity of this business and how anybody can succeed. I just believe anybody can change anything. I love networking because people build networking and people can change. I'm just a shy person. I don't know how to talk. Well, then change. Well, I speak negative to myself all the time. I just talk negative. Well, then change. You see, it's like easy. Today's the first day of the rest of our life. It doesn't matter the past. The Apostle Paul said, this one thing I do, I put the past behind, I press toward the mark. Well, where do you want to go? So whatever's happened in the past, can't change that anyway. It was good. I had a lot of good in my past, but can't change it. Had some bad. Well, can't change it. But all I know I can change tomorrow and the next day and the next day. And remember this, today is tomorrow's past. Today is tomorrow's past. Today is tomorrow's past. So if you want to have you say, well, I can't really go because I can't grow because I had such a bad past. Well, change your today. Now, all of a sudden, today is a good day. Now, tomorrow you put enough good days in and then you start looking back and your past is pretty good because today is tomorrow's past. Amen.
I love it. I love it. Hey, you know, I got to tell a quick story about you. One thing you said if you can't do something, maybe you're afraid of doing presentations and you can change. And the thing I love about network marketing is I'm going to tell a story about a guy named Sam Robinson. Sam Robinson was a network marketer. He was making $44,000 a month in network marketing. And please. Okay. So anyway, he was making $44,000 a month as a network marketer, and he had never done a presentation ever. There, got him, I think. So every time what he became very good at was inviting people to come to these opportunity presentations that other people did and let those people do the work for him. Okay. So he realized that he was too shy or didn't have the abilities that he needed for to be that person. Instead, he kept inviting people to these meetings and went on to making $44,000 a month. He did that for years and years and years. And he never did any opportunity presentation. So you just have to look at what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are. And the great thing about network marketing, you can always overcome your inequities. So I just had to tell that quick story. Lennon, now we've talked about how you do things. I want you to talk a little bit more about the importance of the team, how the team can do more for you than you can do for you. Please elaborate on that.
Well, I bet if anybody's ever heard me talk, I bet I've said it 10,000 times that the team can do more for you than you can do for you. I learned that very early. When I was new in the business, I was trying to be the know-all, do-all, be-all, say-all. I thought I was showing my upline that I was a leader. So I was trying to, as I just said, I was trying to be everything. I wanted to show the presentation. I thought that'd make my upline know, hey, I'm committed. I'm everything. And my team wasn't really growing. Now, it didn't dawn on me that I'm driving a $125 Volkswagen and still living at home. And then I'm telling them I can teach you how to be financially free. I got the answer to all your financial troubles. Follow me. I'm the guy. But what I did realize was that they could believe that I knew somebody. So I started learning how to edify. I started creating value to other people. I realized that I just had to be a good bringer, meaning, hey, there's a Zoom call with successful people. There's a hotel meeting with successful people. I got to just learn how to get somebody excited to go meet them. I started to get myself out of the way and be a connector versus a do-all, say-all. When they asked me a question, I thought some law said I had to answer the question. They asked me a question, I answered it. Then I started realizing, no, if they ask me a question, I talk about somebody else. They ask me a question. That's why you need to come Thursday and meet Joe. That's why you need to meet Adrian. Man, Adrian, he can answer that question better than anybody I ever known. So we'll see you Thursday. In other words, I started learning how to edify and create value to somebody else because I realized if they could come and see the team could do more for me than I could do for me. My business started exploding when I just started getting people around the successful people instead of trying to do it all myself. Remember, the reason they were listening to me was because it was me. I was their friend. But maybe the reason they could not believe that I had the answer to all their financial situations was because it was me. But they could believe that I had met somebody or was connected to some people who had the answers. So that's huge because then it took the pressure off of me too. Now I didn't have to answer everything. I didn't have to know everything. See, I'd be scared to get in a situation to talk to somebody because what if they asked me a question and I didn't know the answer? Then I might look dumb. So I don't get in this situation. No, if every time they have a question, that's why you need to talk to Adrian. Man, I mean, Adrian knows that. I've heard him answer that. Oh, gosh, we need to get you guys together. See, that's how the business started growing. And is that kind of answering it, Dale, a little bit?
Yes, absolutely. And along that line, as far as having a team, you know, I've had a lot of people that don't, it's almost like they don't feel like they deserve their success. Maybe it makes them feel, you know, they've heard so many on the news and stuff about wealthy people, you know, being bad. I mean, you tell, you know, and I don't know where that comes from, but you talk a little bit about talking about a God of abundance and how God wants us to be successful. Elaborate on that a little bit.
I always do think it's funny. If I understand your question right, I've always thought it was funny that people would believe that this business is good enough for them, but then they're scared to share it with their friends like it's not good enough for their friends. Where's our self-esteem? I looked at, if I'm in it, and that means I made a decision to be in it. Adrian's in it. You're in it. We're in it. In other words, if it's good enough for me to join, by golly, for sure it's good enough for anybody I'm talking to join. I'm using the product. I'm in it. If I'm using it and I'm in it, by golly, it's good enough for them to be using it and them to be in it. So I just feel like, why would God bless that guy and not this guy? If God's a God of abundance and all things are possible, then man, it's possible for me to go 5K. It's possible for me to go 500K. See, it's possible. All things are possible. In the Bible, it doesn't say, well, some things are possible for some people. All things are possible. What does the word all mean? That means if you want to go 25K, you can go 25K. All things are possible. If somebody else, I would see that. I would see somebody in a beautiful home. I'd see somebody driving a beautiful car. And I just said, why not me? Why not me too? It's like, I'm happy they have a beautiful car. But if they have a beautiful car, and it just says God's in the blessing business, therefore I can be blessed too. But it's like, why would I believe? I just keep on that point. Why would I believe that it's good enough for me? I signed up. That means it's good enough for them to sign up. So that gave me the confidence to just share. My job is to share it. Their job is to receive it or not. I can't control whether they receive it or not, but I can control whether I share it or not. So I share it. I share it. I share the idea. I share it. I share it. I share it. And also what I find is the more I shared it, the better I got at sharing it. And my ratio, more people joined because I got better at it. Also, I got more successful at it. So more people joined. I got better at promoting the team. So more people looked at the team. So more people joined. So we was more successful. So the team got more successful. Everything won, and it cost us nothing to open our mouth. Is that answering your question, Dale, a little bit?
Sure. But take it one step further. I know you talk about, because I want people to realize it's, there's this connotation that if you make a lot of money,
okay,
that's kind of a bad thing. And you talk about when you talk about being virtuous just for the sake of being virtuous.
Okay.
Elaborate on that a little bit.
Okay. I even kind of grew up. I don't know where it comes from, but when we played high school football, and our team was a little farm town. We lived at where it was a steel mill, and so most everybody, their dads worked at the steel mill. It was just kind of a working town, and we'd play the other little schools, and it was fine. But I remember the rich high school. We went to the state playoffs, and we're going to play. Well, it was called Skyline, but anyway, we were going to play this school, the rich school. And now we're going to play these rich kids. Oh man, we had extra energy. We had extra energy to crush the faces of these rich kids, man. I mean, we had extra energy. And I remember, like, we're in the huddle. I mean, we're down there and I'm punching this guy. And he goes, why are you hitting me? It's my dad that's rich. I'm not rich. And no, that's a joke. That didn't really happen. But the fact is we seem to have more energy just to fight the rich kids. Because I go, when did that? Who taught me that? I'm in high school playing little, like, sophomore football or something. So the thing is it's the same with people. So we go, okay, I would in church. Why did I grow up and it seemed like church? There was this attitude that it was virtuous to be poor, that somehow the more poor we were, the more closer to Jesus we'd be. Like, we don't have much money in our family, but we're a good family. We're good people. And then they'd ask for donations, and I would say, people would say, like, just judge my heart. I would give if I could give, but I can't give, so I don't give. I mean, they weren't given. It'd be like, wait, don't judge what I do, judge my heart. I would give if I could give, but I don't have anything, so I can't give. So I don't give, but don't See, I always wondered, why do they have this attitude that it's virtuous to be poor? I never could find, how can a poor person help another poor person financially? How can you give what you don't have? How can you put meat in a casserole for a sick friend if you're eating macaroni and cheese? How can you give what you don't have? So I never believed it was virtuous to be poor. I just never believed it was virtuous to be poor. But I also never believed it was virtuous to be rich. See, I know rich people, good people with money do good things with their money. Bad people with money do bad things with their money. That does bring up a good point. If you don't have any money, how are we going to know if you're good or bad? No, that's a joke. But what I believed was it was virtuous to be virtuous. You see, it wasn't virtuous to be poor. It wasn't virtuous to be rich. It's virtuous to be virtuous. That means just money is just a thing that gives us options. Options. When they say, hey, the roof on the church is leaking, can we have some donations to fix it? You have the options to fix it. Money gives you options. So I just want us to believe, I don't believe we will, all people, I don't believe we will make more money than our self-esteem believes we're worthy of. So our self-esteem, we have to believe that we're worthy of success. Some of us feel like, well, we were born in this neighborhood. My grandpa was this way. My dad was this way. So my generations, I am this way. No, change. I can't help. I don't know why one kid's born black and another kid's born white. I don't know why one kid's born in South Africa and another kid's born in United States. I don't know. All I know is I got old enough and realized my dad was Curtis and my mom was Virginia. Somebody else gets to wake up and realize my dad's Barack Obama, or my dad's Donald Trump, or my dad's Bill Gates, or, well, I didn't have that. So I don't know why one kid gets to wake up and realize their dad is Donald Trump. I don't know why I got to wake up and realize my dad was Curtis. Does that make sense? But it's all right. It's okay. My dad was Curtis. I love him. He was great. I don't want to trade my dad for anybody. I like my dad. My dad was a good dad to me. But he was a school teacher. So that's just, it is what it is. But I can change. See, I don't remember choosing how I was born, but I do have choice how I live and how I die. So it didn't matter what choices my grandfather made. What matters is the choices I choose to make. And I wanted freedom for my life. I wanted financial independence. I didn't believe there was any other kind of freedom until I was first financially free. When people don't have money, it's about opposite of what they're teaching you. That people say, oh, the person with money thinks about money all the time. No, the person that doesn't have money is thinking about money all the time. There's been times in my life when I had no money and times in my life when I had lots of money. I know for a fact in my own life, when I didn't have money, I was thinking everything clear back in high school. Oh my gosh, don't have money. I want to go out after the ball game. I want to take that girl somewhere. Oh, where can we go? What can I feed her? What can we stop to? I'm trying to figure out what the cheapest way to impress her. But will she be okay with just ice cream? Do I need to take her to dinner? Oh, I don't have money for dinner. Hopefully she'll like ice cream. Well, I don't have money for ice cream. Maybe she'll like to come over to my house and watch TV. Yeah, that's free. Mom and dad will be okay if I bring her over to the house and watch TV. In other words, I'm always trying to think of what's the cheapest way to hopefully still impress them, but make it cheap. See, it was like, so money gave options. But freedom is what I'm talking about. How do we be? We're thinking about money all the time because we have no money. So let's get, the Bible says, owe no man but to love one another. Be the head, not the tail. Be the lender, not the borrower. Well, yeah, it's because they say the borrower is the servant to the lender. Yeah, once you owe money, you're in debt. You're a servant to that person that loans you the money. Gosh, let's get debt free. Let's owe nobody. Let's owe nobody. And then we're free. Okay. You can tell. I know our time's about up, and I can keep going on that one for another hour.
Well, you're right. We're about out of time. It's been fantastic. You hit on all the topics I wanted you to hit on, and I hope everybody got as much out of this as I did. And you always bring it. You always bring knowledge. You always bring excitement. I know some of the people from last week said they love your stories. They love to hear about how you came up through the ranks and all that. So at this point in time, let's we are close to the end of the time. Just I can give you a couple minutes if you'd like to just have a closing thought.
Well, closing thought would be, I love you. I love you guys.
You too, man.
It's like love is the key to this whole thing. Love. Everything is love. If people feel that you love them for real, you love them for real, and you care about their success for real, then the trust, the love, the relationships, people, I just found that men, I don't know, I guess they do work hard for money, but they work harder for a cause, for a brotherhood. You know, you say, hey, work overtime and we'll give you an extra $20. It doesn't seem to move people as much as when they become part of a brotherhood, part of a team. We always worked harder when it was a team, and that's all. It's just love each other. Harmony. When there's harmony and love, man, God blesses that. When there's strife and fighting and confusion, it seems like it just doesn't grow. It's like life isn't blessed. So all I'm saying is that I just love to love. I love that we get to be with each other, that we are together, that we can build relationships. Relationships is what makes me build this thing harder. I'm not building it harder because, if I hit the next pin, I'll make more money. No, you build relationships of love and the pin will come. Your next pin will come. It always does. But who are you in the trenches with? Who do you know's got your back? Who are you talking to on a regular basis? Who do you know just loves you because it's you? Whether your volume's high or your volume's low, they love you. Who are we associating with like that? There's no judgment. We're in it because we love it. And so, of course, we're winners and we want to win, but we love each other anyway. So I just love you guys. And I wanted to end on the power of what really makes our team go and what really makes life worth living for me isn't the money that flows in. It's the relationships, the love, the knowing that when one of my friends is sick, I care. I pray for them. I call them. I care. If I was sick, they would call me. It's like we care about each other. We love each other. We're telling each other. It's just, I want you to know that's what makes our team different than other teams, even in networking. Some it's just business and goals and, hey, hit this goal, and very money driven, money motivated. I've always tried to be love motivated, and the money always comes. But love is first. Love is first. But I just want to end by saying thanks, Dale, for letting me be on the call. I always love it. I've done hundreds of these, millions of these. And yet I think that's a great blessing from God. One of the greatest blessings I ever received was that I saw it when I was still in high school, meaning I saw the vision, and it's all I've ever done. I just never had a job in my life. But the other blessing is that I'm as excited today as I was when I first started. Many men, the longer they do what they do, the less excited they are about doing it. Whereas I'm more excited. I couldn't wait to be on the call today. In fact, I'm the one talking too much. Some people, okay, I'll give you 10 minutes. And they get on and they speak quick and they're off and they're out of there. That might mean they're more motivated by money than loving you. Or they're loving the team. No, they don't understand. Love the team. No, they got on, they got off. They're about, okay, I made my appearance. I said a few things, I'm out. With me, I'm talking too long. We're supposed to be done a few minutes ago and I'm still talking. Well, love is the key to everything. Love is the key to any relationship. If love is the key in a marriage, love is the key with our children. Well, love is the key to business success. Love your people. Love is the key to everything. I don't know. That's supposed to be a short wrap up.
No, you did great. You did great. We're a little bit over today. I apologize, guys. No problem. But when you got great stuff being said, you need to hear it. Guys, have a great week. Lennon, thanks a million for being on this call, and we'll certainly have you back again. Thanks everybody for hanging in there and staying with us. I hope you guys as much have it as I did. Remember, not only does Lennon love you, but I love you too, and we want you to succeed. Okay. The beauty of this business is if you succeed, we automatically succeed. So we focus on you. So have a great week. Work it hard, but enjoy life as you're going. And I'll be here next Monday, and we'll have a brand new person to interview. So have a great week. Take care. This concludes this call. Take care, everyone.